Welcome to Sip Yap by TheSmoothieCartel, a safe space where stories are shared without faces, names, maybe just an alias, and judgment.
Confession, say it loudly, secret, secret. Yap it proudly, type it, send it, set it free. You're the face, but it's not your ID. Scan confession, living softly, spill your heart, you're moving calmly. That's the myth, nobody sees. See your secret anonymously. Hmm. Sip a little courage, spill a little truth. Welcome to the table. We're listening to you. Sipping your confessions. Tell us what your heart's been hiding. Little crushes, big obsessions. This is where the love comes sliding in. Sipping your confessions. Say the words you've been denying. Smooth and sweet, you feel it setting in. Sipping your confession. Start again. Nervous little laugh, hands around the glass. I kinda like my best friend. You say it at last. Sipping your confessions. Tell us what your heart's been hiding. Little crushes, big obsessions. This is where the love comes sliding in. Sipping your confessions. Say the words you've been denying. Smooth and sweet, you feel it setting in. Sipping your confession. Start again.
This morning's confession is about timing, pride, softness, heartbreak, and emotional tension, and the kind of connection that never fully leaves your mind. So, wherever you're listening from, take a deep breath in, settle in, and prepare for the confession. Hold up, the anonymous confession of Miss Debonair. Let's listen to the confession. Okay.
Miss V, I have a confession, a sincere one from my heart. There's this man of God I truly admire, not for his look, though he's absolutely gorgeous just the way he is. Even the audience in every space notice it. He speaks to me calmly and it makes me want to listen to him every time. He motivates me and helps me make things exist. I know he's feeling me like I'm feeling him, and I know he doesn't care about what people say from his actions. The very day I decided not to come to the space where we see ourselves, that was during the time he and I started talking. Not a relationship type of talk, but one where purity was given the chance to grow. And it made me stay. But then, what's a beautiful story in the making without a downside? I decided not to believe what I felt for him and took my mind off him to focus on a generous gentleman who I'm grateful for. But he wasn't entirely gentle, and that was one of the things I looked for in a man. It was as though I made a decision which everyone saw except the options I was left with to pick from. And obviously, God made me see twice that this generous gentleman wasn't for me. It did hurt me and felt like it started drawing me backwards. And funny enough, I told this gorgeous boy I admire so much about it, whom I address as Mr. Debonair. Obviously, I saw it hurt him, but even in that state, he wasn't rude or loud, but he made his emotions known indirectly. Oh, how sexy could this get? The following meetup, his words pierced me. It was a day after my birthday, but he purposely didn't wish me. When I confronted him about it, he moved like it wasn't a priority, and in that state, it didn't feel like his pride but pain. When he asked me if I was pregnant as part of guess when I said he forgot something, which was my obvious birthday, that day my heart ached real bad. Something I hadn't felt in years, as though he poked my heart. Next thing I knew, I was at the bar, cowardly taking a shot of whiskey, and moved with heaviness to a space where I normally ease off my mind. A place between the sea and silence. And I had company that day, so I had to act tough not to make it obvious that something had gotten to me. It ended up in me ignoring the company and doing my thing. Eventually, the bond between Mr. Debonair and I grew distant, and it felt like a checkout for me per his action towards me. But there was still something that still made me comfortable to come to him for anything I knew he had knowledge about, just as a way to be in his space. This even reminds me, the first time he said if I needed anything I could ask him, I laughed real bad because I was going through a severe heartbreak where I lost faith in humanity completely. But then, I remembered I needed to give him space and started focusing on building myself at least to be able to attract what I truly desire, which was one of the counsel he gave me when I made him know I wanted my husband to find me. Not to make my confession long, I am single now and still working on a lot of things, but I felt uncomfortable when he made himself available to other females who I sensed liked him. But who am I to feel this way? Miss V, I truly think about him. There's no day that passes without him running through my mind. Even when I was trying to be with another lover, I couldn't help the thoughts of him flooding me. And even in my dreams, I'd see him. What do you think I should do? Because now that I am single and alone, I genuinely want to know him on a deeper level for who he is without leading myself and with intent. I can't make a mistake like the others.
Whew, not even gonna lie, that confession stayed with me. Because sometimes the people who hurt us deeply aren't even the people who treated us badly. Sometimes they are just people we aren't ready for. Three things that stands out for me in this confession. The first part is when she honestly tried to move on physically, but she never left emotionally. Yeah, thinking about it, reflecting on her confession, that part really got to me. Oh, yes, and then there's the birthday part. I guess sometimes people really sometimes reflect their heads through distance, and some other people express them in sarcasm, like what she said. The guy literally said, "Yeah." Some people sometimes express their heads also through words, because obviously that's the easiest way to express how you're feeling with either your action or your voice. Yeah, and I think it really got to her. I mean, to result in what she ended up getting herself involved in. That's tough. Emotional gentleness. The way she spoke about him, it wasn't even heavily about looks or money. It was how calm he made her feel. Made her feel calm. And I think sometimes we underestimate how someone's gentleness and softness can affect us emotionally. But above all this noise, not to say noise, not to give a description to an emotion that you are feeling, Miss Debonair, um, I think another thing that I want to highlight is the fact that not even the romance, but much more about gentility, in the sense that Miss Debonair kept talking about how safe she felt around him. When you really listen to the confession, you can see this. It's literally given K-pop drama, but then you can feel safety. You can feel safety in her confession. You can hear safety in her confession because she's literally saying she feels safe around him. I think that really stands out for me. Also, when I listen to this confession and I replay it in my mind, I'm thinking about the timing because I'm like, it was literally at a time where she wanted to move out of the space, and I think she met him. So it's much more like it was much more like she met him at a time where she was healing from a heartbreak and disappointment. So I think the timing over here really also matters. When I replay this whole confession in my mind, I'm like, the timing really did matter. And you know the crazy part is sometimes when someone finds someone healthy, it doesn't feel easy to trust. This is where you need God in your life because when you start to love Him, indeed you get to feel what true love is. Because love in its purest form can only come from Jesus. That's what I'll tell you. If you ask me, I'm not going to say it. You're not going to hear me tell you some fairy tale. Even though I'm a literal princess, I'm not going to give you any fairy tale. Because the only fairy tale that I know that has love in its purest form is Jesus. And the third thing that really got to me was the distance. Not because they stopped talking, but because you could feel like neither of them completely detached emotionally. Based on what Mrs. Debonair is saying, literally. And especially the birthday moments really said a lot than any of them could say to each other. Now it's time for solution. You know, Miss Debonair, come closer. Girl, I literally had to write this message down for you because I had to think and think and think and think to get it right. So come closer. Don't romanticize potential so much that you stop seeing reality. This is the first thing I'm going to tell you. Yes, the connection felt deep, the emotional tension was there, and yes, he clearly affected you. But before creating a love story in your head and in your mind, ask yourself, have we actually built something real? Something real outside of emotion and assumptions? But sometimes we fall deeply for what someone represents to us, not necessarily who they truly are or fully are. Yet, at least for the moment, yet. And I also think you should stop punishing yourself for choosing wrongly before. Honestly, you should stop that. Life happens, you grow, you move forward. People misread situations, and healing isn't always linear. It's not a one-way thing. That's something that I also want to let you know. Based on my personal experience, for those who know my personal experience, yeah, yeah. But moving forward, I think you should focus less on chasing clarity emotionally. Yeah, focus less on chasing clarity emotionally and focus more on creating clarity through communication. Not a dramatic confession, not pressure, definitely not pressure, and definitely not forcing a relationship, just honesty, soft honesty. And if there's truly something there, it will meet you halfway. So don't forget that as well. And if it doesn't, girl, at least you stop living in unanswered emotions. Stop living inside an unanswered emotion if it doesn't meet you halfway. Because sometimes closure isn't losing someone. Sometimes closure is finally accepting and telling the truth. My name is Vicentia Abinai Shiradakwa, host for today. Make sure to like, leave a comment on what you think, and subscribe. This is Sip and Yap by the TheSmoothieCartel. And Sip Society, before I leave you guys, I genuinely want to know in the comment section, have you ever met someone you fully couldn't let go of, even though you officially didn't have them? And do you think some connections are meant to grow or they're just meant to change us? Honestly, tell me. Do you think Miss Debonair should tell Mr. Debonair how she feels? Or do you think some feelings are better left unspoken? Kindly let me know in the comment section. And one last thing, one last question before we end this confession. Do you think timing ruins good connection, or do truly meant connection always have a way of finding themselves to their respective people? Or do truly meant connection always find their way back? Well, let me know in the comment section. This is Sip and Yap by the Smoothie Cartel. Don't forget to use the hashtag Sip Society and continue to scan those confession bottles whilst you sip and yap your truth. Catch y'all later. Subscribe. Mwah.